nigga turn to a man. If it's smoke, yeah, nigga, then pop out. If it's up, nigga, we leaving you stuck. Cause that's how you bringing them Glocks out.
Chill, full of vibe. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting 100 like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting 100 like every single day. RPX. Yeah, just the RPX where you can sit back and catch a vibe at. But your mind gotta be open like a surgeon with a scalpel. Mixed with the tips that can help with the mental, also the spiritual, and even the physical. The way she break it down, you don't need a visual. Always keep it fair and also critical. Everything is clear, ain't no need for subliminals. Growth is essential, the love is not rental. You might be perplexed, but it's so simple. If you wanna know how you can interact, just hit the IG or the clock or where it at. So come get involved, it don't even cost. Just hit the DM if you need to talk. So all my good people out there, stay blessed and make sure you tune in to the RPX. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting 100 like every single day. This ain't no shade, this ain't no flex. Just make sure you tune to the RPX. Stay dropping jewels all on the airwaves. Keep sitting 100 like every single day. RPX.
Chill. We're here, another episode of the X Radio here on Glockaware, where you can find us every Thursday night at 6 p.m. We are live, so you can be a weirdo and watch us. Go to YouTube, type in Glockaware, and hit the live link, and you'll see myself, the RPX, and Chick with the Juice in here today. What's up, girl?
That'd be me. Hey, guys. How you doing?
I just want to put a advisory out there before we start. This may be a sensitive show because we are here to talk about suicide. So just full warning you, we don't know where it's going to go. So, there we go.
Period.
You got your warning. What's up with you, Juice?
Man, I'm good, man. We just finished up a good show.
Nice.
Loudmouth Podcast.
Yeah, go back and check that episode out. Also available on YouTube.
Yes, indeed. We had fun. We talked about a lot of stuff.
As you should.
It's been a long week. Been moving.
Mm-hmm.
Been moving. But I was excited. I had this in my book, like, when am I on Rosie's show?
You know what? The thing is, Juice came to me and was like, yo, I would really like to talk about this. Is that cool? Like, can we do that on your show? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's totally all about the mental health aspect. So,
yeah.
If you follow Juice on the gram,
Mm-hmm.
She had mentioned she had a friend who passed from suicide.
Yeah.
And, we never talked about that, but I knew from the gram
Yeah.
that had been the case. So
Yeah.
What it was. Just tell me about it.
I'll get into it a little bit.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I had a I'm not going to say names or anything like that, but she wasn't from here originally, but she had family here, and she left Florida, came here to Philly, and she already suffered from some mental health issues already. So she was dealing with some bipolar issues, and probably wasn't on her meds.
Yeah, a lot of folks are non-med compliant.
Yeah. And
that is, in my younger years, I struggled with that myself, because you get to a point where you're like, hey, I feel good.
Yeah.
I don't need this medicine.
Yeah,
but it's the medicine working, folks.
Right.
And then you don't take your medicine and you start this weird, slippery, wet roller coaster, and it's dangerous.
Happened. Yeah, and that's what happened. And with bipolar disorder, sometimes, the way that it affects people is they make erratic moves.
Yeah.
And that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
And, I didn't realize this because I didn't know her prior to her coming here, that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
And was not really aware of her mental health at the time that we were in each other's presence. Mm-hmm. Until we had a conversation one day.
And a lot of times, folks with mental health, you see them, they look good, all this great stuff, they present well.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they have a lot of turmoil and bullshit going on inside, and they hide it. And it's behind closed doors and stuff. And sometimes you might notice maybe they're not around as much, or they go through period. You see them all the time, and then you don't see them all the time.
Yeah.
That's with that bipolar business. You ebb and flow extremes in your energy.
And she would be like that. She'd be very high, hey, the life of the
Manic,
party
depressive.
1 second, and then quiet in her own zone in the next second, and that's how we actually wound up talking about it. And it wasn't a huge thing, but it was like that we're here.
Yeah.
She had people who were here.
Right.
And I always say this, and I try to explain to people, it doesn't matter sometimes how many people you have around you, or how many people tell you that they love you, or how many people are cheerleading for you. Some people are still in a very dark place, and they feel very lonely.
Yeah.
And she was one of those people. And for whatever reason, we wound up, not seeing each other for some time. But, we were crossing paths, and, we would see each other at the Platte, and, stuff like that. And long story short, she... I come sliding through the Platte a couple months ago, and they talking about she was missing. I think I just got back from Atlanta, and I just got back from Atlanta. And let's say it was a Monday, and they're like, yeah, we haven't heard from her since Wednesday. And I'm like, wait, what?
That was strange, right?
I said, you haven't heard from her since Wednesday? They're like, no phone, no nothing, no nothing. And then when an adult goes missing, you can just file a missing persons report, but they're not going to really do anything because it's an adult and they could have just left.
Right.
So, that went on for quite some time, and just the not knowing was weird. And I'm like, this is too long.
It doesn't seem right.
For somebody who's playing a game, who just wants because some people do it for attention, and somebody who just wants attention, this is too long. Did she leave and go to... She's not using her card. She depleted her accounts. She didn't have any money in her account. She paid people. She gave signs. She sent notes to certain people in her family, and then disappeared. And I don't know how long it took her to do what she did, but long story short, a few weeks ago, they found her, and she had... she was decomposed, so she had been there for quite some time. We're not really sure how long, but it was from a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the chest. And I was really, really, really... I was hurt.
Yeah.
I was hurt because I'm like, Dad, we right here.
Yeah.
We're right here. If that person ain't working for you, this person not working for you, or this person, is nobody. But there's nothing... We don't know... Can you imagine feeling so much pain that the only thing that you can think of is not being here? Or even people who cut themselves, who feel like the pain of physically cutting themselves is better than the fake pain that they're feeling inside. That some people don't understand what that pain is.
I do.
Talk to them.
I've in my lifetime, I've experienced that. I've contemplated ways not to be here. It like you said, there's people around you, but you're in such a dark place. You don't see it, you don't hear it, and you're not open to really telling what's going on inside of your head. And then even when you do, some people don't understand. They don't want to understand. They tell you, get over it. This is life. La, 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 la. So those are discouraging things to say to somebody going through something, but sometimes the people don't understand really how deep it is.
I don't think people take into consideration that, all right, let's say, I'm from the trenches. I've seen a lot of murder. I've seen a lot of death. I've experienced things and I'm young, and I've experienced things that maybe you haven't experienced, or, and maybe your hurt comes from something completely different.
Right.
A different place. I can't compare my hurt to your hurt. You understand what I'm saying? So what I'm feeling and what I see every day, I might see, like I said, might see murder, might see all that, might not break me. But,
right. That's not your right. That's not what affects you.
But not having a dad might.
Right.
Or losing my mom might.
That's your breaking point.
It's weird.
Everybody has different emotional traumas. And of course, you know, we start acquiring them as children. And so, like you said, we don't know what you might have went through as a young person, a child. Even now, you know, we may be friendly, we may be cool with one another, but when you leave here, we don't know what your life is like.
Period.
So, you know, unless you're transparent about that and you feel like you have somebody to talk to, which a lot of times people with severe depression don't. Like, you don't, there's therapists, of course there's therapists. Then when you're in this mindset, this space, it is, you don't want to do anything. You don't want to go to therapy. You don't want to do this. You don't want to do that.
You don't want to wash your ass. You don't want to do nothing. You don't want to get out the bed.
Real.
You don't want to go pee. You don't want to do anything. You don't want to breathe.
That's so real. You might not get out the bed for days. You might not wash up for days. Like, it's screwy and it's fucked up and it doesn't seem right, but you're in such a like you said, such a dark place that you're not functioning properly at all. And it's,
then you might have somebody in depression who's like in constant party mode.
Yep. That's the manic side of it. You know, I did that too. Whee!
Yeah. You know, just trying to feel something.
Yeah, and really you're just numbing in a different way. You know, the alcohol, the this, the that. You're just you don't want to deal with yourself, so you're out there living vicariously through others.
But what you do when the party's over?
Right.
You know what you gonna do when the party's over?
You still gotta go home, right?
Still gotta go home. You still gotta lay in that.
Eventually, you gotta go back to it.
Right.
So, you know, a lot of people can't deal with that, and so of course, suicide becomes an option.
Yeah, and it's sad because you will hear, you know, some people be very angry. Like, I was angry, but I understand. You know, I understand mental health, and I don't believe that if she was healthy,
that would have been
an option.
Right, exactly.
But I just really feel like, you know, there was a misfire somewhere, and you know, it's sad. It's sad because sometimes we don't see the signs.
Yeah.
Or sometimes we do see the signs and we ignore them.
Right.
You know, and you know, if you got a kid and your kid is constantly, you know, in the room or constantly, you know, just not making movement, you got to kick the door in and see what's going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot
Lay
of
in
times,
the bed with them for a minute, see what's up.
But sometimes, you know, like there's people and parents out here that are not, they're so absorbed in themselves. Like, I think that's a thing out here in society nowadays. You know, people are very much self-absorbed. Sense of community's gone. Friendships, you know, are torn up over stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know, there's just a lot of turmoil in our social circles.
Yeah, you're right.
So, I mean, sometimes folks don't care.
Yeah.
They're so absorbed in their own
and
problems,
it's because we
things.
don't know what's going on anymore. We're not having dinner together. We're not eating together. We're not taking that time. Everybody's on their phones. Everybody's, you know, off in their own little worlds. Everybody does their own thing. Like you said, being self-absorbed. And then, you know, you're wondering what happened to the memories, you know, with your family. Or, damn, we didn't even do anything this year. Oh, we didn't, you know. We didn't do anything together as a unit, or next thing you know, your kids are teenagers and you don't know them, and they running around like, I hate you, Mom.
Right. I think, you know, it's funny that you say that because I think looking back, a lot of kids did that, and it's just part of growing up. You know,
it is.
It's like, this is not fair, and da-da-da-da-da, and the next thing you know, you're I hate you, Buck.
I apologize for always wanting to be an adult. That's all I want to say. Sorry, Mom.
Yeah. But that's it. I mean, first of all, you're a Leo. Woo. So, very strong alpha female plus the Leo on top of it is just, you know, I was in a hurry to grow up myself. Like, and part of it was through the things and traumas and experiences I had as a child, I was forced to grow up too fast.
Facts.
I had to be responsible for things I shouldn't have been responsible for.
To 'em.
So it's like when you get to that point, you're like, screw it. I've already been doing this. Like, I'm ready to go and do everything else.
Yeah, I was raising children at 9, so.
Yeah. Right. You're doing things you're not supposed to be doing.
Yeah. When I let people laugh at me, I'm like, I raised about 16 children, baby.
Yeah.
Not mine. I only had one.
Right. And isn't that crazy? Like, you only had one, but you had your hands in all these different folks' lives because of circumstance.
Yeah. I think that's what, for some reason, that's what he intended.
Yeah, that's how it goes, you know.
And I just roll with the punches.
Yeah, those experiences made you who you are. Yeah. It doesn't mean at the time it was fair.
Right.
But you lived through it, you experienced it, you grew through it.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah. I definitely learned a lot.
Right.
Yeah, I definitely learned. I learned
too much too soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I got married young, so.
Me too. What was your reason for getting married young? How old were you?
I actually was with my ex. Is a big age difference. Mm-hmm. So I was with him when I was like 16.
Okay.
And then we got married I got pregnant at 19. We got married like right when I turned 20.
Right.
21.
Right. So there was a whole big dynamic to that.
I only got married because my grandma was old school. She was like, so you're having this baby, so what are you going to do? I'm like, I don't even like right. What do you mean? What am I going to do?
I don't even like dudes. My mom.
Like, period. Like, I don't know.
I came from an old school family as well. Like, my grandparents were together. First of all, they had 9 children. Mm-hmm. They were married for over 50 years.
Wow.
And
they probably sleep in separate rooms.
They didn't. They had a king size bed though, so they probably had 2 different east and west over here, right?
Right.
But yeah, you know, like so it was that, and it was a very traditional situation. So it's like one of those movie type esque things. Oh, well, you know, I'm this age, and again, it goes back to I've already done this. I'm in a hurry to be an adult, mm-hmm. and I got this guy. I'm of age when people are doing this,
right? And
it's the next thing to do, right?
Yep.
In hindsight, we never ever should have.
Girls were not this generation of girls. I don't know what they're brought up to do, our generation of girls, as we knew what our wedding was going to be when we were in like 5th grade. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it was like it is already instilled in us that, you know, you're
gonna get a boy, you're gonna become of age,
right?
Find somebody,
right?
You're gonna marry them. You're gonna have a great life.
Now, I mean, the education and all that was in there. You know, be a woman. You know what I'm saying? But my thing was, my grandmom. She didn't really like him anyway, and I think it was more or less. I can't
believe she pushed it then because you were pregnant.
Yeah, it was more or less. Well, y'all got a kid, so y'all, what are you doing? You know, y'all living together. Y'all don't. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to get out of this shit. She don't even know I'm in this abusive ass relationship with this dude, and. You know, I did wind up marrying him, but I also wound up marrying him for she don't need to be with him anyway. And
you were trying to prove him wrong.
Hell yeah, prove myself wrong.
At my wedding, at my wedding rehearsal party, my step pop was like, yo, you don't gotta do this if you don't want to.
You should have been like, come on, pop.
Right there, I should have said, you know what, you're right.
Well,
however. They paid for everything.
That's how I felt.
Had all these people come from out of town. My ego wouldn't allow me to walk away from that situation. And of course, in hindsight, it's so easy now, right?
Yeah.
But when you're in the moment and you're faced with all these things that you seem to be like, people judging you, really is what it comes down to. Yep. Is all these people are going to look at me because I brought them here for this friggin' thing
that I'm not doing
now, and we gotta go back to Philly after this.
No,
and I gotta deal with it all over again.
A party.
Yeah, I actually know somebody that did that.
Yeah, we'll turn it into a party. We paid for it.
Yeah, I know somebody that did that, but yeah, like my ego wouldn't allow me to do that at that time. I was 21. And
that's what it was, about 20. It was hard for me. Well, let me tell you, it was it was a thunderstorm, lightning, thunder, pouring down sheets of rain. Mm-hmm. That was the first sign.
Right. She said, no.
Don't do it. You know what I mean? It was all kinds of stuff. A tree broke the window. It was a lot of stuff.
There was a lot of signs there, girl.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I still did it.
Right.
But it only lasted for a few. and now tables have turned.
Now, through that relationship, you said you had an abusive relationship that you weren't even really interested in being involved in.
But I was having a family.
Right.
So in my mind, at that time, like, all right, no, you got to keep your family together. You're gonna be one of them girls out here single with a kid, trying to figure it the fuck out.
Right.
Like, I didn't want to be that. I didn't want to be that kid, person.
Because of all that, did you go through a period of depression?
I did. I was depressed for the whole time I was with that nigga.
Yeah.
I was depressed. Matter of fact, you want to know what's crazy? I was going through my grandmom's pictures. She has this drawer full of all these pictures, and I'm going through the pictures, and I found a picture of me from Christmas.
I already kind of know where this is going.
I looked at that picture and I said, I looked at my mom. I said, "Why you ain't saved me? You ain't see this?
Yeah.
I look crazy. I look like I'm screaming for help.
Yes.
Like, what the fuck? Nobody seen this, But
in hindsight, it's so clear.
it was very clear to me in that goddamn picture because I was looking rough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was looking like I had a rough, and I did. I remember that Christmas. So I don't know. I went through a lot of stuff, but you know what? I wouldn't trade it.
Yeah, because at this point, you utilized what you gained from it, and plus, of course, you got a daughter out the situation.
Well, nobody else could have given me my child, but his weird ass. But yeah, and it built me. It made me who I am, and that's why I went to Atlanta and I became a gangster.
Yeah. Was there any point at that time when you were going through depression that you might have considered suicide?
Yeah, when my mom died.
So it was like a double whammy for
I was
you.
16 though.
Yeah. Okay. So
was
that
16.
was a different situation.
Yeah, I think when my mom died, that was the worst for me.
I also was going through a rough patch. I was 13 and my pop passed.
Yeah.
And like I was not a mom's girl. I was a daddy's girl.
Right.
And so that was like devastating for me. My whole world was gone.
Well, my mom was on drugs, and but prior to my mom, I was like, I'm the oldest of her 3 children, so I was the kid that got to witness the before.
Right.
You know what I mean? Before
the mom, she really was.
Right. And so that transition was really rough for me.
Right.
Growing up. And she had my little brother. She had my brother when I was 9 when she had my middle brother. And it was crazy because I think that was that was when she was really turned up. Like my mom got shot. All right, so long story short, my mom got shot when I was 8. She got shot in her face.
Oh my God.
And it was crazy because I can remember. And you want to know, it's crazy because it happened. We used to live around here. The bus stop that I was sitting with my mom at is on Broad Street, right on Ruscombe. And where's the bank at?
The Citizens Bank?
Yeah.
It's down here, but
right,
I got you.
Yeah,
Rockland.
right there, Rockland. So, and I was actually in the car the other day, sitting at the light,
looking over,
and I looked to the left and realized for the first time
where you were,
where I was.
Yeah.
In all these years,
had that triggered you. So,
long story short, my mom is going out with whatever. She's going out. She's getting dressed. She's doing her hair, and my mom was beautiful, and she looked Dominican. She was gorgeous, and I used to just watch her get herself together. I don't know if anybody follows me, but if you ever see my daughter is very, makeup and hair. She's my mother's child.
Girly,
yeah,
right.
She's my mother's child. I don't know. She didn't get that shit from me. I'm not.
It's weird. How did it skip the generation?
Yeah. So, we went to the bus stop. I was going to the babysitter. Me, her, and the babysitter went to that bus stop, and I remember it took the bus forever to come. And the bus came, and then she left, and I went to the babysitters, and the next thing I know, the police was coming to get me from there, and we went back to my grandmom's house, and I found out that my mom had got shot in the face, but she had survived, but she was in the hospital in critical condition. And long story short, this is another thing, when you're dealing with, so you're talking about a beautiful woman. This woman was beautiful.
That turned her into a whole nother person.
So it took away that vanity. You understand?
What she was known for.
What she was known for. She was a model. She was my mom. She was my mom. Y'all know who my dad was. So you understand? So it's like, you know, that killed her.
Yeah.
It killed her. It killed her silently.
Yeah.
You know, and I watched her die.
Yeah.
Before she died.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And all those years.
Is that what started her abuse, drug abuse?
Well, no, the party scene. You know, you got
that was just back then.
Back then in the 70s, you got cocaine, and then they was Ready Rock, and then the crack.
That was just if you were in, especially in the entertainment business.
Yeah,
that was normal. You know, things of that nature were normal. So
and,
I was just.
And since we keeping it raw on 100, I'm not gonna name no names, but it was a very known entertainer that actually, you know, forced my mom into some shit, and you know, weird. Because he was very famous. Yeah. You know, but that's these famous people weird as shit too. So, I mean, that was one of the things that deterred me from being anywhere in the music industry. You know, is because this is the life that I watched. You know, I watched the inside of the shit. You know, that shit wasn't
You didn't
fun.
see the glamorized stuff. You saw the raw.
Yeah, fuck them shows. I saw the other stuff, you know. So, long story short, you know, but my mom wasn't with my dad at this time anyway. But my mom, she just spiraled, you know. It's like she got out and she just spiraled, and she came home. She did wind up. She had my little brother or whatever, and it was rough from there. You know what I mean? And then when I turned about 16, I went to go live with my grandma. My grandma, I was my grandma's baby. I was 2 pounds 2 ounces when I was born. My mom carried me for 5 months.
Wow.
I was doing December, but I was born in August. August 18th is my birthday. So, you know, my grandma was just like, I just been my grandma's baby from day one. Yeah. So I always was with her. So when my mom really got bad, I was with my grandma. Right. You know what I mean? So shout out to my grandma because she's the shit. And she is.
Hey, my mom. Shout out to my mom.
You talking about depression. My grandmother buried all 3 of her children. Yeah. So, you know, you just, it's hard to see stuff like that. But, so now I'm older or whatever, and now that my mom had another kid or whatever, so now I have my little brother. So it's, you know, it was crazy because she wasn't right, and I wasn't going to school because I was trying to take care of them, and, you know, whatever.
Did you have resentment for that?
Hell fucking yeah.
Like, because you're like, Mom, you're not even right. You're out here having more kids. What the hell?
That's what I'm getting ready to get into. The reason that I wanted to kill myself was because my mother called me 2 days before she died. You know, and that conversation was just that. You know, basically, I hate you for everything you put me through, and you know, I like you had these kids, and you can't even get yourself together for them. I'm 16. I'm feeling myself. I think I got a little dick by then. You know what I mean? So I'm like really like showing my ass a little bit. Like, yeah, I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Plus, you have that relationship where you have this slight animosity.
Yeah, like you need to hear this. You need to feel this because I'm feeling it. You know, and. I gave it to her, but the words that stuck was, you know, I hate you. Right. And she hung up and we disconnected, and she called the next day. And this is before cell phones and all that. We talking about, my mom died in 92. So she wound up calling back the next day, and my grandma was like, you know, your mom wants to talk to you. And I was like, I don't want to talk to her. She didn't get her life together that fast. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good. And they disconnected, and my mom died the next day. She had OD, and she didn't OD. The crazy shit is she didn't even OD off of the crack. She took a pain pill that interacted with something else, and and it she had a heart attack, and she was 32. Wow. You know what I mean? So, but shout out to my mom because she still was the shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we got juice out of it.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, she taught me it. That whole situation taught me a lot. You know, there's a lot of pain behind that. It took me a long time
to be able to talk about it.
It took me a long time to get over it. Like,
yeah,
it took me a long time to really understand that she knows that I loved her, and that, you know, I didn't hate her, and that I was just angry, and I was young. I was a child, and I needed to get that off my chest. And, you know, she that was my girl. Like, we was tight. So we, you know, when we had our moments, but when she was good, we had our, you know, we were tight. So when she left, it hurt.
Yeah.
You know, it hurt because I didn't get a chance to have that
last conversation.
Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you to leave me and not give me a chance to have a mom? That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you already know my dad ain't shit. He running around doing what he doing. So
it's
it
it's
wasn't
like she
fair.
left you twice.
Yeah. Then you made me be a mom to your kids. That's not cool. You know, so, but out of that, I became a very nurturing person by accident. You know what I mean? Like, I don't even know how it happens, but it happens. And, you know, it's a great thing. Like, I love my mom to death. And, you know, I give anything to just, you know, give her a kiss again. But she with me all the time. Because all kinds of shit be happening and I be getting out of it. So I know that's the ancestors.
Those deer.
Those deer. You know.
Those deer, girl.
You know, and the same with my dad. Like my dad was cool. You know, you gotta you know what I learned out of all this? You gotta accept people for who they are.
Yeah.
And sometimes people are sick.
Yeah.
And they trying to be
in different ways.
And they trying to be the best they can be. And sometimes they give you the best that they can.
Every day's different too.
And every day is different, you know what I mean? And sometimes if I can't tolerate your shit for that day, you know, it's just like, it's
we
not
on
that
break.
I'll
talk to you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's not that I don't love you. We'll talk to you.
I need my emotional sanity.
Yeah, I always say that. I always say, listen, you got options. Mm-hmm. You always got options to break away from me from a second, but don't go nowhere for real. Like, let's just, you know,
we
get
need
ourselves
a little space, right?
Get ourselves together. So, and then my dad got killed in 2004 on my mother's birthday.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, it was like the double whammy. Boom, boom.
Right.
You know, but I was an adult at that time.
Still, that doesn't make it hurt any less.
Oh, hell, well, that was traumatizing for me. But it didn't take me to that depressing place. The difference between my mom and my dad is that because my dad was so vocal in the world, it was like he never went nowhere.
Right.
You know
I've heard you say that before. You know, I can go in a store minding my own friggin' business and hear his voice. Anytime.
I get calls that he's on the radio. I'll be talking. I'll be going through. So I could be having a breakdown. And that song will come on. Or I could be like, you know, fuck this shit. I don't want to do that. Then that song will come on.
That's him talking to you.
You know, he talks to me. He gets on my nerves. He talks to me all the time, so he's annoying sometimes. But I got a lot of good folks watching over me. But my relationship with my dad was thorough. I keep it a bean. Like, you know, people are people. And then at that time, entertainers were entertainers. And he was on the road and he was doing his thing. And
living,
you know what I mean?
Living his best life, he thought, you know.
When I got older, you know, my dad was my friend. That was my friend. He was a great friend. You know what I mean? He was somebody I could talk to. He was a nigga, though. He didn't care. You'd be like, you know, Dad, so, you know, he cheated on me, you know, and he slept with the girl in my bed, right? So I cut my bed up, and he'll be like, wait a minute.
You did.
He'll be like, baby, wait a minute. So you cut the bed up.
And I'll be like, sleep on?
Yeah, I cut the bed up. He'll be like, so you couldn't just flip the mattress over? I be like, flip the mattress over? He like, cause you're gonna ask me to buy you another bed. You didn't have to cut it up. Like, I said the nigga fucked another girl on my bed.
Right.
Like, I don't really care about that. Like, I'm like, oh my God. But
be like, yeah, so can you buy me that other mattress, by the way?
right, I believe it.
That's really what I was getting to with the whole story anyway.
But you gotta love them for who they are, you know what I mean? And you know, shout out to my mom and dad. They was thorough, they made me.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yo, Took. You got some new back there, some some stars, something, you know, we can kick it to for a minute. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Check us out on the X Radio when we come back from break.
Damn, space man, you out of here? They be like, Nunu, you wrong. Well, go let them know, cause these niggas playing they sleep. I know we gon' make a few mad. When I get that bag, then drop 50 bands on my teeth. Niggas ain't never been with it, we come from the trenches. You know we playing for keys. Nigga keep playing with me. I ain't worried about his ass. We'll leave him laying in the street. How we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, yeah. Spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it. I pour a walk in the trenches. I made it pop in the trenches. Secure the knot in the trenches. I got the Glock in the trenches. The cops on the block jump the fences. I pour a walk when I'm not in the trenches. I got that bad little bitch, yeah, she lit it, made her in my city. Then I flew her out the Philly. Watch me go spin in the rental. You know the game. The streets is not made for pretenders. Half of you niggas beginners. You niggas and bitches, I swear y'all the second progenitor. I got the game in the headlock. Fuck you mean, man, that shit in the chokehold. We will push switching them folks, I'm in jam spot. So we ran that shit up by the boatload. Fuck with me and you gon' get your man pop. Ain't that shoot that shit up, that's a no-go. I was born with this shit, it ain't on me, my nigga. You know that I'm colder than Frozo. See, I ain't even 21, but niggas, they know that I been on some savage shit. Hey, watch me make money come. I'm the youngest in charge, I make it acrobatic flip. You know that I'm one in none. Can't no nigga compete, never been on no average shit. It's me and Ines and we leaving the scrap, make them disappear just like a magic trick. They be like, Luna, you rock, well go let them know. Cause these niggas playing they sleep. I know we gon' make a few mad. When I get that bag, then drop 50 bands on my teeth. Niggas ain't never been with it, we come from the trenches. You know we playing for keys. Nigga keep playing with me. I ain't worried about his ass. We leave him laying in the street. How we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, yeah.
Spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it.
I pour a walk in the trenches.
I made it pop in the trenches.
Secure the night in the trenches.
I got the Glock in the trenches. It's never enough. Nobody doing it better than us. I don't see nobody measuring up. We don't be doing no regular stuff. Clever as fuck. Tough in the trenches. No, we ain't taking no senses. All of my niggas relentless. Before you can finish a sentence. Get in my bag. My man, he coming to grab. I'm happy he making it work. But I reverse. What made it worse? He had a microphone taped to his shirt. I get the shot and I'm taking it first. When I was younger, I played in the dirt. And here with Nunu, I'm laying the verse. Until the last day on this earth. Money don't sleep. It turns saint to a sinner. Preacher pull up on spinners. Lights get dimmer. You got the house of Virginia. That's why your pockets are thinner. Okay, we winning. Italian leather and linen. That don't mean shit, we still spinning. Crank up the engine. Y'all wasn't paying attention. That's why I'm squeezing the lemon.
They be like, Luna, you rock, well go let them know. Cause these niggas playing they sleep. I know we gon' make a few mad. When I get that bag, then drop 50 bands on my teeth. Niggas ain't never been with it, we come from the trenches. You know we playing for keys. Nigga keep playing with me. I ain't worried about his ass. We leave him laying in the street. How we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it, yeah.
Spin it, we spin it, we spin it, we spin it.
I pour a walk in the trenches.
I made it pop in the trenches.
Secure the night in the trenches.
I got the Glock in the trenches.
Sunshine, 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 sunshine. I take the road. Making music, you feel the sunshine, 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 sunshine. I take the road. Making music, you feel the sunshine. Thanking our universe for giving me sons. 3 kings standing in the waiting one. Got my soldiers by my side if it's a war we won. We won, yeah. Oh yeah, son. So many things I've got to tell you, but I'm afraid I don't know how. Cause there's a possibility you look at me differently. From the moment I looked into your eyes, I just knew my life would be more than alright. Knew my days had purpose, nights had peace. I still and I'm also thankful that you have chosen me. Like my son.
Always available. Got me and my brothers whenever there's trouble. Dream team supreme, always taking W. We keep it decent, don't get split till it's skeletal. I know that this is love. My mom always got my back, never lets me slack. She rise, she rise, she rise. Never let me down. She rise, keep me motivated. She rise, always meditated. She rise, she rise.
Sunshine, 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 sunshine. I take the load. Make me feel the sunshine, 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 sunshine.
We're back on the X Radio, where you can find us every Thursday night at 6 p.m. here on Glockaware. Shout out to Glockaware for hosting us as well. And we are on YouTube Live right now. So, go to YouTube, type in Glockaware, hit the live link on the X Radio, and you will be linked in with myself and Chick with the Juice at this very moment. If you do want to call in, of course, you can hit us on our jacks as well, but the Glock line is 267-888-6019. And just a disclaimer, if you're just tuning in, we are talking about a sensitive subject today. We are talking about suicide, so if, you know, that is bothersome for you, understandable, just go watch another episode.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of choices, okay?
A lot.
Yeah, Juice. Tell them where they can find you, Juice.
Oh man, y'all can find
all
me
over the
everywhere.
place.
You can find me here. You can find me there. No, you can find me at on Instagram at ChicwitTheJuice 2. So it's ChicwitDaJuice 2. And if you can't find me there, which that would be crazy,
Right.
you can go to my alternate page, which is my Juice Squad page, and that is
Juice.
yeah, CWDJ _ Juice Squad.
Listen, I'm drinking the PPP, and I went with that first and foremost because that's where the money's at.
That's where the money's at.
PPP.
PPP. That's why I named it that.
Yeah, you need this one. It's it's tasty.
Yeah.
Getting juiced. She has multiple product lines, so just check her out.
Yeah, just hit me up. DM me.
And if you're out the Platte, look for the Juice Squad.
Yes, we're out there
Juice,
all the time.
Juice Squad, man. They're
Don't
fun.
Don't buy the other guy. I mean, buy the other guys, you know.
Yeah, I mean,
but
listen, you got test them
Support.
out. Test them out
Test
and
them out.
support.
You know,
but you're going to
but-
just come back to where it's good at.
You know,
Boom.
you'll come back home. Come holler at me.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
man.
this has been a great conversation.
Yeah, it's real deep, but it's good.
Yeah, well, it's real.
Yeah.
Some people need to hear some people need to know they're not alone. Like everybody has a story, you know what I mean? You might
Everyone has a story, and you never know what it is.
Yeah,
Because, you start talking to some people, and you're like, damn, man, you went through all that? I never would have imagined the way you carry yourself, and you're living life now. And it's like, because I choose...
y'all don't know what I'm living. Y'all looking at Instagram.
That, too. I had a conversation about that earlier. A lot of folks... put on for the gram or social media and whatever, and you really don't know what's real.
Yeah, stop watching my Instagram life. That's not my life.
Yeah,
That's not real. That's not all real life.
Sometimes, we post memes or sayings, or maybe even in the past I had posted things that were like somebody else might have said it and they were going through it, and I just reposted it because I could relate with that.
Period.
But I wasn't going through it.
Right. If
but
I
now
agree with it, I might post it.
Yeah. I'm of that mentality. I can relate to that. I may not be going through that, but I can relate to it. But a lot of people are like, "Oh my goodness, it's okay."
You're like,
I'm
you're
like,
like, what happened?
What are you talking about? Your Instagram. Oh, okay. Well, I don't.
I just reposted it because it's a meme, bro. It's a meme. It's
That's
not
what they're
that
for,
deep.
right?
It's a meme. It's not that deep.
That's what they're for. Yo, if you are watching YouTube, go ahead and check out the transition, because it was pretty cool when we went to break there. By the way, we played some Nunu and some Starchuji. Check
Yeah.
out both of those situations.
Shout out to Star.
Yeah, shout out to Star for sure.
That song was dope.
It definitely was.
Had me like, yeah.
Right, put you in the good mood.
Nunu had me like, I was about to, I was about to get her, and Ness had me ready to, and then Star brought me back down. Now I'm not going to go to jail.
Yeah, she's leveled out. Thank you. Thank goodness. My whole point was comedic value. You can see as older, seasoned women getting out of our chairs.
Yeah, it didn't look good. Yeah, it didn't look good. I'm hurt.
Shit,
She's hurt.
man. Shit. I need a Bentley truck.
Yes.
I need a Bentley truck.
We just said it doesn't matter. I'm on the phone with Paulie the other day, and she says she ran into something. Said, shit. Fuck. I was like,
I need a Bentley truck.
So she was like, everybody's just going to do that. So now
I
you
can't
just
help
did it.
myself. Listen,
got
I
to.
was in the store the other day looking at the merchandise hanging on the wall, and all of a sudden this song pops in my head, and I'm looking at friggin' markers going, I need a Bentley truck. And I'm like, whoa, Rose, listen, focus.
Focus. Right now you need markers.
You
Right
need
now.
markers. Markers is the task at hand, B. What are you doing out here?
Oh man.
But anyway, yeah, we are, talking about a deep subject, so you got to have some laughs involved there because this is
better.
real life, and there's the ebbs and flows involved. So the good, the bad, the ugly, we're here.
You know what I found out, I've learned about depression is that, sometimes you have to have an outlet and you don't know what your outlet is. Believe it or not, a lot of I'm
comedians,
sure comedians
they use comedy.
There's
a
fought
lot of
depressions, a lot of suicide.
Yeah.
There's a lot of suicide in comedy.
Yes, sir.
If you think about it.
Yes, sir.
Some of the greats.
Yeah, Robin Williams.
Yeah, one of them. Definitely.
Who would have, and he made so many people laugh. You look at his movies and stuff, and he did switch roles to more of a, from comedy to drama type movies towards the end of his career.
Yeah.
But, so maybe that was what he was going through.
Right.
In hindsight, maybe that was what he was going through, and he really couldn't be that funny anymore. But he just had that in him. And, but yeah, comedians use their pain to make funny ha-has. I mean, we do that, girl.
All the time. I do it all the time. Shit.
Queen of one-liners. Yeah, we do it all the time, and it's kind of a defense mechanism.
Yeah.
It's a coping tool, and as long as it's in a healthy way, then
it works for me. Shit.
Yeah,
it's my outlet.
Yeah,
yeah. It's my outlet.
Yeah,
Come
you
here
need
to
one
Blockware.
though. Like you said, you need to find something that soothes your soul.
Yeah, no, this is one of the few places that I can come in. I could be in a bad place and come here, and it's just like, yeah, you're not there anymore.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yep.
You might as well come on up out of that. My daughter uses painting.
I know, that's super cool.
So I, and I always bring that up because that was like really thorough to me. Like,
yeah.
You talking about somebody who never was. I'm like, you show me a drawing that you drew, like ever.
And then you're like, did you really do that?
And then I'm like, you lying. You didn't even do that. And now it's just like I just watch her, and she has engulfed herself in this world that she knew nothing about. And it's like now she's selling paintings online.
I know. That's
she's
awesome, Dana.
She's doing great. Like I definitely am going to set up a what do you call that? A showing?
Yeah. Okay.
What do
like
you
a,
call
like
art?
art. I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it either.
Well, we're gonna have
not an art expo, an art gallery, an art. What do
auction?
Yeah, you could do an
art
auction.
Sale, or
listen,
Tell
she's
me
gonna bring
what
her
it
art,
is.
and y'all gonna look at it
here and buy some. That's what y'all going to do.
Because it is dope. I've actually, they're all around the shop, so you can come check them out and purchase them as well. But, I've seen people come in and be like, yo, those paintings are really cool. I think, I need to buy one for my crib. I'm like, do that.
Yeah.
The artist is really dope. Do it.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, right? Yeah, the artist is my broke best friend, so I definitely need y'all to do that if y'all can help me out.
Paintings.
Yeah, get the paintings. But yeah, I really think that it was an outlet for her to be able to, and I look at some of her paintings and I can see,
because you know her on an intimate level.
Yeah, and I can see the pain, I can see the brightness, I can see what makes her happy. I can see, I came in a room one day and this is just all, I come in, I'm like, how come every time I come in here you painting like titties and butt?
That's what makes me happy.
She's like, 'cause I'm gay, Mom, and that's what I like.
See? That's what makes me smile.
I'm like, okay. Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Is there anything else that makes you smile?
Right. Like, no, not really.
We're going to have another line later next month, maybe? You're going to choose another topic that makes you happy?
But they sell.
Yeah. See, and that's, other people are relating to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
On whatever level it means to them, but they're relating to it. So screw it, man. Keep painting the boobs, man.
Right. Period. I feel like there's a community. There's such a big community of different outlets for depression. Especially, now, mind you, social media can get you sucked into the wrong place if you don't pay attention. But
anything can get you
sucked into the wrong, right?
The wrong people will get you in the wrong place because you're in the wrong vibration, the wrong mindset, and you're just like along for the friggin' ride.
Right. But if you find the right group or platform, or just see what other people have done or do, or just try different things to be able to get that energy back.
Yeah. But this is the hard part. You're down so low.
Yeah.
It's hard to even, you don't want to answer your phone.
No.
You don't want to shower. You don't want to eat. You don't want to go out the house. You definitely don't want to be bothered by anybody. And if anybody talks to you, it's like, yeah, whatever. So
that's when you need that best friend that comes, kicks the dog out the way, pulls you out the bed, throws you in the shower, and gets your ass up out the house.
In high school, I had this friend, right? And I did something of that nature. I was like, man, she was going through this shit. And it was time to go to school, and I had a car. So I went to go pick her up from school, and I go in the house, and I go upstairs. I'm like, where's she at? Oh, she's upstairs. I go upstairs. She's under the covers in the bed and shit. I'm like, you don't get up and go to school so we can get this school thing out the way.
Right.
We're trying to graduate this year. What are you doing?
Right.
We're already on thin ice. What's up?
Right.
She's like, I'm not going to school. Shit. I took those pillows, the friggin' comforter, put it in the trunk of my car, and went to school. Like, well, you're not going to be comfortable here. So, have a nice day.
You're not going to be comfortable here. Give me this pillow and these blankets.
Yo, I took them, put them in the trunk of my car, and went on my way to school. Like,
I'm dying.
You're not going to be comfortable here because you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Like, fool. But like you said, sometimes you need that friend to do that shit.
Yeah, Paulie's that friend.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Paulie don't give a fuck about nothing.
Like, listen, Juice,
I'm
I'm not going to tell you again, girl.
Get the fuck up.
Get the fuck up.
She be like, we ain't rich yet.
I don't care how many juices you sold yesterday.
I'll be like, I know, fuck it, I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be like, just give me a day.
Yeah.
But, you just need, sometimes you just, like I said, it doesn't matter if you got those people, but sometimes you need those people.
What
like,
if you don't have those people? Like, what? Now what? You're in this funk, and you're so deep. Like, it's hard to change your mindset. It's hard to get out of there, to crawl out of this.
It is.
Friggin' pit that you're in of quicksand. It's not even that you're just in a pit and you're like, well, if I can get up to the top, I'll be cool.
You don't even have anybody at the top when you get there. It's just
nobody's there to help you. Nobody's throwing a line. And then on top of you got quicksand. Every time you move, you're coming back down.
Yeah.
Like, it's that deep.
And then
folks.
there's so many people out here without any medical insurance. So I heard you said something about therapy. Mm-hmm. How many therapists I went through.
And that's the thing. And that's the other thing. That's a great tool, but a lot of people aren't ready for it. They're not receptive to it, and the therapist is not in alignment with that person.
That's why they're not receptive to it, because if I go into a place, and this has happened to me so many times, now you just heard a little bit of my story.
Right.
If I'm talking to Jenny from Feasterville,
right,
she's 18, she just graduated.
Yeah, she's doing her clinical.
Right. She's looking at me like,
what the?
I'm about to kill myself. I don't give me the meds. Like, you know what I'm saying? I swear on everything I love. She used to say, listen, I don't think you're going to have to go ahead and... I said, you about to commit me? She like, no, you just need
another person.
I wanted her to say so bad, like, no, you need a black bitch, because I ain't going to be able to... I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
I can't relate.
I cannot relate to what you're saying.
I can't relate, so I don't know how I can help you.
So they wind up putting the wrong people in those places. You gotta put people who are relatable. But
when it's just a system, right? It's a system of service. So it's like no different than you going to the phone store and you're walking in and you greet the first customer service agent. I need a phone. It doesn't matter who it is.
But the problem is if we could kind of get that organized in some type of way a little bit, then it would be easier for the person who doesn't even want to pick up the phone and go through it. What about that person who's not only depressed but suffers from a severe anxiety? Yeah. So the minute you start asking questions, they start oh God, I don't know, God, they ask me my name. Like,
listen, for me it was hated repeating myself.
Yeah, that's my daughter.
I got a pet peeve with that, okay? I don't like to repeat myself. If we're having a conversation, cool, whatever. I don't want to repeat myself. I don't want to have to tell you later. I don't want to come back in. Now, and a lot of times what happens with that situation is that They'll match you with somebody, and if, say you are a match, and you're getting along great, things are progressing, and then sometimes because a lot of these mental health organizations are short-staffed, they move people around to different locations. And so now you have to be with Susie Q over here when you were with Jenny from the block, and that shit ain't working.
Right.
And now you have to tell your story all over again. I'm like, yo,
I'm like, you had to read them papers. She ain't take no notes.
I said the same thing. I said, could you read my file? And then if you have any questions, we can go from there. Because I don't want to repeat that's irritating. And like you said, anxiety, depression, all this stuff, building up. And you're like, nah, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, they definitely have to get that system better because it's a lot of stuff that deters people from, reaching out for that help, But, shoot, I'm going to tell you right now, if it's anybody that is in my immediate, not just my immediate circle, if you have access to me in any form, fashion, and you feel like you need to talk or whatever, and you want to talk to somebody sometimes you got to talk to somebody who's not in it.
Yeah.
To to just
get a
not
different perspective.
Yeah, just to listen, or sometimes you need to just cry, or sometimes you need to just scream, sometimes you just you want an opinion, sometimes you don't. Hit me up. You got my, hit my DM.
You're the second person that said that on my show.
That's serious. Like, sometimes you just got to do that. Sometimes you just need somebody. Like, I'm a Leo, right? So I don't like, when I'm venting, I don't like for nobody to sit on the phone like this.
I need you to co-sign my shit,
so
man.
I'm like, you hear what I said? They be like, yes, I'm just listening. I'm like, well, you going to have to say something. Because I feel like you with them? They be like, what the fuck happened?
Like, don't mind me, I'm a Leo.
I'm sorry. I'm going crazy.
Right. But no, seriously though, you wanna feel validated, you wanna feel understood.
Yeah.
You want to, that's the whole thing. Like, and you're expressing yourself to somebody, regardless of who it is. Like, I remember there was a point in my life where I was just like, my mom and I were never close.
Right.
And I was just like, man, I just need my mom in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I was in my 20s, and I said, I need to make some sort of effort towards this because, honestly, I was an asshole kid.
Right.
I had the meanest mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I hated my mother.
You still do a little bit. But.
Yo, it is, but I control it a lot.
You do.
A lot.
You do good. You a grown up.
I'm a grown up. Yo, no, you get me going.
I know.
However, poke the bear enough. I got you. Push all the right buttons. You're gonna order the pay-per-view that you can't return.
All right. And you're like, fuck, that was $49.52.
And you earned every friggin' cent of it. So,
not the $100 fight.
Yeah, definitely that one. So, I said, hey, Mom, you know what? It's hard for us to have a discussion, but I need a mom in my life, and you're alive, so there's no reason you can't.
That's the worst.
And I said, sometimes I don't need you. I don't need an answer from you. I don't need a response from you, and I don't need judgment. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I just need you to listen.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so we came to that agreement, and even to this day, sometimes I'll talk, and I'm like, hello, are you there? She's like, yeah, I'm just listening.
I'm like, come on, man, you taking it too literally.
Yeah.
Now I'm mad.
That's what I said. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah. I fully support my daughter in whatever she does. She come in like, yeah, I'm stripping this week. I'm gonna be careful. You need me to help. You need me to watch you, make sure nothing happens.
Your outfit, kill somebody. Is your outfit cool?
Yeah,
you need. All right.
It's your life.
Yeah.
It's not. I have learned not to. It's your life. Unless you about to do something that's really about to, like, and my daughter never made those type of decisions anyway. So, but that's because I always let her be great. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Not in a spoiled way.
Right.
But I let her use her mind.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make decisions for your life.
Right.
I'm going to guide you.
Right. I can give you my experience. That's one thing I wish my mother did. I wish she relayed at a younger age to me what her life experiences were and what she wished she did different.
I was very open with my daughter.
Yeah, we didn't have that.
Yeah. And not open in a way where I bad-mouthed her father or anything like that. That's not what I mean.
You just keep it real.
I never talk to my baby in baby talk. My daughter was talking full-fledged sentences at 1.5 going on 2. Mm-hmm. So it was just something about her. She was my daughter, but she was my friend. I was still a kid. We were growing up together.
Yep.
So I was always able to keep it 100. That's why when she came out the closet and all that, it was easy for her to do that.
Right.
I'm the mom you can come talk to.
Right.
I'm the mom everybody's kid come talks to.
Right.
So because I'm not going to judge you. And I'm, like I said, I'm more open-minded than some others.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
It makes all the difference, man.
It does. You want your kids to be able to talk to you, whether they're grown, young, whatever. You want them to feel comfortable enough to know that you're their parent and there's no getting around that, but you're also somebody that they can trust enough to talk to like a friend.
Yeah. My son does that. He'll tell
without
me
being
little
disrespectful.
stuff.
Respectfully.
Yeah, he'll tell me little stuff. And I always keep it real with him, like you said, not disrespectful, not whatever, but we talk real.
Yeah, you got
like
to.
These are the facts, bro.
Yep.
And this is how life is.
Period. Because you're a boy. So we don't play that game.
Yeah, man. Listen, this has been a good episode. I appreciate that. You wanted to come on the show.
I did.
And we had this conversation. And thanks for being transparent because that's some deep shit to talk about, man.
Man, it's life.
But it's real and it's life, and we go through it. And the whole point of it is that we all experience these things in life. You might think this person doesn't deal with that or hasn't ever dealt with this and yada yada. But the whole point is there's only but so many experiences we can have, and there's so many of us. We cross paths in some way.
Period.
And so to be able to relate with somebody that understands in some form or fashion what you're going through is healing.
Yep.
And to be able to talk about it, I encourage folks to find somebody. If you are depressed, if you are contemplating anything of self-harm or destruction, I know it's a hard place to be, and I've been there. But push through, man. Try to push through because there's sunshine out there. And really, I know it seems when you're in it that there's nothing that can be done and you're in some crazy despair. But the bottom line is, you can make those changes. And it won't happen overnight, but it can be done.
Period. So
I encourage you to reach out to the resources available. And sometimes it's right under your nose and you don't realize it. It might be grandma next door, your neighbor, old lady neighbor next door, and it brings that sense of grandmotherly touch and love to your situation that is much needed.
Looking to support pets.
Yeah.
Support dogs, support animals. They work.
That too. All
right.
So, raise your vibration. Stay strong, get the resources and help that you need, and make the effort towards elevating towards a higher level in your life. Until next week, this has been an awesome episode. Thanks, Juice. Check out ChicwitTheJuice on the gram and everywhere else, of course, throughout the city. You'll see her everywhere. Thanks for the PPP juice. I don't know. That sounded horrible. I'm drinking PPP. A word?
A word? That's strong.
Woo! But anyway, thanks to Glockaware. And check us out next week. We're having our financial wellness segment next